Hello everyone and welcome back to another PHP programming tutorial. So in the previous video we created a login page and we performed fake login. We created this fake login function which helps us testing the code for the user interface, but it doesn't access the database. And today we are going to use the information in the database to perform a real login. So before we start here, we need to do some modification to the database access object in order to make it able to do things other than opening database connection. So here I'm gonna create a function. This is a member function, not a static one, which means it will be related to the object because we want to access the connection in the object. So get rows for query. Maybe just get rows. Now what are we gonna pass to this function? We are going to pass a SQL statement. We are going to pass p type for parameter types and PRMS for parameters. The last one will be an array. So we are going to prepare a statement. So PS for prepared statement equal this is gonna be this this arrow prepare this is gonna be connection. We need to access the connection object, then the connection can prepare things for us, right? So I'm gonna pass the SQL statement. Next we need to bind the variables. Now here I am not going to pass one parameter, maybe I pass 2, 3, 4, whatever number of parameters. So I'm gonna do a very stupid trick here. I'm sure there are better ways to do it, but for now nothing comes to mind. Okay, so PRMs. Okay, so I changed it to PRMs, doesn't matter. Anyway, so if count of PRM, if the number of parameters equals 0, in that case, do nothing. Don't do anything. There is nothing to bind. Everything seems to be working well. Else if count of PRMS equals 1. Equals 1. In that case, we have one parameter to bind. So I'm gonna say prepare statement or arrow bind underscore params, and we need to pass what? We need to pass the parameter type. So this is gonna be p type. There you go, followed by the only one parameter, and this is gonna be PRMS of 0. There you go, because I'm gonna pass an array of parameters. Okay, next I will do the following. So if there are 2 parameters, in that case I will just pass this one followed by this one. And if we have what? We have 3 parameters, I will just pass this one. Okay, else through new exception not implemented. Okay, no more than 3 parameters is implemented. Okay, I think through exception, right? So wait, that was right the first time, I suppose. Okay, So what does this code do? Basically, I'm checking the number of parameters. One parameter, bind one parameter. Two parameters, we bind two. Three and four and so on. Supposedly. Okay, four will fail, but anyway. So after we, prepare the parameters or bind them, what we need to do is to execute PSRO execute. There you go. Now after we execute, we need to get the result, right? So result equals PSRO get underscore result, if that makes sense. And finally R, which are the actual rows, equals to result arrow and fetch array MySQL I underscore SO. I think this is how it was. SOC. Okay, associated, and then we return R. Okay, so basically this function simply will execute our query and return the required rows. Now we need to test it. So in the test project here, I'm gonna add a file, read rows.php. There you go. And here, this is gonna be PHP. Okay, so first thing is to include dir. We need to go up one level, then we go to the lib directory, then we go to dba.php, and we have db equals dba open db. We open a connection to the database, and then x equals db arrow, and what was it, get rows. This is gonna be select star from users, and there are no parameters, so empty string, and this is empty, and echo x, whatever. So let us try this out and put a breakpoint on it. Listen for x debug. Okay, so let us see. Oops, let's close this. Let's open this one. This is gonna be localhost and CMS, and let's go to test. There you go. And a test read rows. Go over here. Let's see what's going to happen. So the file got included, and we open a connection to the database. If we put the cursor here, yes, we open the connection, and the connection member variable is already here, right? Everything looks well. So we are going to call the getRows function. So F11. Now we are going to start. We received the SQL statement. We have no parameters here. So we prepare the statement. Okay, we execute, we get the result, and we have R, and R is what? Is the row, right? So it seems like, yeah, that's fine, because we are trying to print maybe make username. Save. Let me just remove the breakpoint here and refresh, and we have admin. If we want, we could say where username equal question mark, and the parameter is going to be s, because it's a string, and this is going to be Smith, or maybe no, not Smith, admin. There you go. Right, so now we are going to query the database for the result, and now we will refresh and call to undefined method bind params. Yes, probably the function is bind param, not params. Let me see. I think this is bind param. Right. And yes, save this and let's go and refresh. It works. Okay, so far we have one row. We could actually increase the number of rows and see what do we have, you know, what could we do with that? So, well, you know what? I think it works. We don't need to worry much about it. But anyway, let's just test it. So admin. Come on, come on, come on. By the way, once we do this, we just need to do this once, and if it works, that's it. Okay, so where is CMS? Wow. Okay. Very slow PC. I'm very sorry about that. Anyway, so users, let's add another user. Insert. This is gonna be Smith. Okay, and the password 456. Role, and yeah, this is gonna be enabled. Okay, and go. This is only for testing purposes. Okay, so we have the row. If we display this here, okay, so we have two rows. So let's go to the query, to the test file. Where's the test file? Go to the test file and let us go to read rows. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to say id equal. Now the Smith is with user id 2. So instead of this is going to be user id, sorry, user id. This is an integer, so I will use I for integer. And this is going to be what? This is going to be value 2. Let's save. Let us refresh the page. And we have a Smith. So as you can see now, this is much better. We are just, using one line of code. It will prepare the statement, bind the parameters, and do all the things we need to that we are requiring it to do, and then it will return an array of rows. Okay, but, actually this need to be written like this. Okay, if it makes sense, because we have one row only and we are displaying the results. So let's refresh. Undefined key. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Let me check something here. Users. I think I did something wrong. Give me a second, please. I think this doesn't return all the rows. Yeah, it doesn't return all the rows. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so let us fix this. Right now, it only returns one row at a time. So this statement should return all the rows. Okay, so let me fix this. So let's go back to here. Now, yeah, so fetch array, I'm gonna say all rows equals empty string. Okay, so for I equals 0, that means that this one's fetching one record at a time, so we will need to fetch multiple records, right? So I smaller than, wait a minute. Is there a fetch all? Wait a minute. I think I'm getting things confused. Wait a minute. PHP.net. Okay, so fetch all. Oh, it's fetch all, I suppose. Yeah, I'm very sorry. This is fetch all. right? So fetch all. Okay, let us try this out. Oops, there is an S here. Let's go to our code and refresh, and it's working, right? Okay, so what was happening before, I said fetch array, and basically fetch array will only return the current row, but fetch all will return an array of all the rows. Okay, so this is what I want. Now let me go back to the test file. So this is we could actually loop on this and display the values. Okay, and we refresh and we have Adam Smith. I didn't put a separator, but whatever. Okay, so the test is working, that's fine. And now we could perform an actual login. So what do? Let's go back to here. Now, the thing I do is usually I pass the connection to the database as a parameter, because later on this will help me if I want to do a big transaction or stuff like that. So I will pass db as parameter. Okay, and instead of this I'm gonna say r equals db arrow get rows. Okay, and get rows. And what is gonna happen here? I'm gonna say select star from users. Oops, users where username equal question mark and password equal question mark. So this is the query. So I need to check or pass the parameter username, which is a string, and I need to pass the parameter password, which is also a string. And the first parameter will be UN for username, and second one is PW for password. There you go. So it is gonna check against these, and if count of R. So if the count of R is 0, what does this mean? It means the username or password are not valid. So return null. Okay, no username or no matching username or password. Okay, otherwise, else I could actually now create the object and return it to the end user. So instead of this, Control X, I will just fill these from the results of the database. So this is going to be R of 0 of username. This is going to be R of 0 of password. This is going to be R of 0 of user ID. And this is going to be R of 0 of what do we have? Username, password, user ID, and status. And we have the role, right? So role equals, it's going to be a role, right? And return user object. It's as simple as that. Let me close. One important thing here, let me check the fields. I think if I click use, wait, users, yeah, so yeah, role, okay, seems like everything is accurate and fine. So let us try our code, right? So where is the do login? Where is that? The control, the admin control. So this is the login, this is the do login, and I am calling this one, and I need to open a connection to the database and pass it. So here I'm going to say db equals dba open db, and this is going to be db. That's it. Seems like what we need to do. Let's go, and now let's go here. Okay, so I'm gonna say whatever here, login. Okay, DBA not found in blah 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 admin PHP 28. Oh, okay, sorry. It seems that I forgot to include the DBA file. My mistake. Okay. DBA. Save. Go back. SS whatever. Login. Nothing. Because no matching username or password. If I put admin123 and login, and this is the home page of the administrator, so now it's working. Also, we created Smith, so we could log in with Smith 123 and login. Oh, Smith, my dude, Smith. What was the password for Smith? Wait a minute. Localhost PHP my admin, whatever. Oh, this is the link for adding user. Don't want to add user. Let's go here. Let's see the user table. Okay, go users. So Smith is comes with a password 456. So, oops, Smith 456 this time. Login, and it worked. Okay. Yeah. So with this trick now, it's very straightforward to do things. Yeah. So in terms of our progress, our to-do first is that we created an administrator login page. This is what we wanted, right? And in terms of progress, or of our progress, 22.1.10, basically we updated DBA class to prepare and bind and execute queries in a single function, okay, to make things easier. Also, what we did, finished admin login. Okay, seems like this is worth it. So now we could actually commit. Yeah. What's this one? Close this repository. Okay. Yeah, it was opening. Yeah, something old. Anyway. So let's see. So updated. Blah 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 blah. Okay, seems like fine. So these are the files being updated. So commit. That's it. So we finished this one. Now let's have a look at the layout of the project. Okay, close others. Okay, so now the control basically contains the logic of our project, if that makes sense. And it's a little bit messy. Messy. Need to learn how to speak English. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so let me try to separate things a little bit with comments to make it a little bit easier to read. Okay. Home page logic. There you go. This does nothing. Okay, this does nothing in terms of execution, but it makes it easier for us to work, right? Easier, because now we could, for example, say this is login page. Okay. And this is gonna be what? This is gonna be processing login logic. Okay. And what also? Unexpected action. Okay, so now it is the same code, but in a way I think it's easier to understand, right? Because now it's separated, right? Yeah, just separated, and yeah. So when you want to read it, it's better. One other way that you might want to consider is, for example, create a function for each one of these. So a function for do login, function for login, and so on. Okay. So this is just a little bit of refactoring of the code. And yeah, and it does nothing in terms of processing, as I said, but it makes things a little bit easier to understand. And yeah, so one other thing is that we created logging, if you remember. And with logging, one important thing here is that if an error happens, we are supposed to write the details into this one. So let me show you, uh, for example, in the read rows here, I am going to change this to have errors in it. So let me go back to this one, and this is going to be test read rows. And we are getting an error here because the syntax of the SQL statement is wrong, right? Yeah, so if something like this happens, we need to be able to write the error details into the file system in the log. So one trick of doing such a thing is to do the following. Let me first include the log. This is going to be log. No, sorry. It's in the lib log.php. There you go. So try catch or e. Okay. So I didn't speak about this statement. Now the try statement basically has two parts. We have try and we have a catch. In the try section, what happens is that you execute the code. If any error happens in this part, the catch section will be executed. So basically, we are going to say log. Oh, wait a minute. Let me remember what did I write in here. Yeah, add text to log. There you go. So let's go here. I would just say add text to log, and I'm gonna say arrow get message. There you go. And that's it. Basically, this is an exception object. It should return the message here. So let's save. Wait. I think there. What was it? So was it like that? Exception. Give me a second. I'm forgetting a lot of things. PHP.net, and we have try catch. Actually, you know what? Just to try PHP catch. come on. You can see my internet is quite great. Okay. Oh. Exception? What? Okay. E. There you go. Now it works. Okay. So, well. So if an error happens, we will receive the details and the exceptions. We should get the message. So let's go back to our code and refresh, and nothing appears now, but there is an error. So if we go to the log file.txt, where is the log file, and we open it. Wait a minute, this didn't work, right? Let me see. Let me try this out. Go here and debug. Please bear with me. This will help us later on. Okay, so what do we have in E? Okay, so here, oh, it's message, not get message. Just need to write the word message. And it is not, I think this will do. So let's stop this. And let's refresh. No, I see. So in this case, we just say PHP exception object. Okay, just give me the members. One of the things that is annoying about this is basically, oh come on, php.net. Okay, so here exception, there you go. So the exception protected public construct get message. Well, it should be working. Well, it should be working. I already did this one. Why it didn't work? Actually, I did it right the first time. Okay, no problem there. Let us just debug this and see how it will work. So go back here and refresh, and yeah. So I press F11, and what's the value of message? There you go. So this is the file name, the message date, and we append to the file, and that's it. So let me see the file system. Where is the log file? Oh, it's already updated. Why didn't it appear the first time? I don't know. So here we have table users blah 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 doesn't exist. So this now we don't get the error message on the display. Obviously we still need to do some processing, but you don't want to display errors to the end user. Basically the errors goes to this log file, which help us understand what's happening. Okay, so why did I go with all this annoyance? Okay, well, because in our code that accesses the database or do something that might cause a problem, we need to use this style. Okay, so let's go back to our users table, and let's go back to our login page. Okay, so here all this part could trigger an error at some point because it is accessing the database. So the database might go offline or some other error. You don't want the error message to be displayed to the end user. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say try and catch exception E, and then oh, I forgot to include the file, the log file. So now I'm gonna say include, and by the way, I think I'm gonna use include once. One of the things that you might encounter when you are including the same file multiple times in your project, you might get errors. So include once, make sure that the file is only included once, okay? So dir, and this is gonna be slash log PHP. There you go. So if an error happens, what was the name of the function? This one. I am a lazy person. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so if there is an error, I will just return null. I write the error details and return null. Otherwise, this code will be executed. Give me a second, please. There you go. Okay, so we have this one now, right? And if all goes well, we either have invalid username or password, or we get this one. If there is a problem, we will have the problem logged into the text file or the log file here, and all goes well. So let's go to our friends here. Sorry, admin. Yeah, we already have this one logged in. So let me close the browser and run it again. So, and paste and go. Oh, there you go. Right. So far so good. If I say admin123 and log in, this is working. Now let me show you something different. Now instead of this, I will go and stop the database. So the database won't be working. Okay. And now I will say admin123 and try to log in. And what's happening is that it is trying to connect to the database until we get an exception. So why did we get this? Well, simply because in the admin logic we have this part. Where is it? Well, let's do login, right? This part here, okay, it doesn't have the try catch part, okay, so it could still trigger an error. So I will just go to the database access also, and actually go to the open database and do the same trick in here. Okay, I just want opening the database to be, a little bit safer when processing things. There you go. Okay, so if there's an error, I don't want to show it, but rather, let me see. Okay. Catch, actually, not like this. Sorry. This doesn't need a try catch because the way this fails is a little bit different. It doesn't throw an exception of as it seems. It just returned a connection error. So instead of this, I need first to include the log file. So include dir.log.php. And if there's an error, I will just say add text, right? What was it? Yeah, there you go. Add text to log, right? Just add text to log, open this one, failed to connect, that's it. And instead of, stopping the code, I will return null. Okay, so if there's an error, I will return null. Okay, so if we check the logic over here, what will happen is the following. We try to open the database, and this will return a null, and in the login it will receive a null, so an error will be triggered there as well. So let me go to the log. Let me close these pages. Okay, to reduce the mess we have. Okay, so this is the log file. I will just delete everything and we save it. Okay, now let me go to the code and go back, admin123, and try to log in. Give it a few seconds and okay. Okay, so it has still displayed an error on line 20. Where's that? Yeah, so I thought this will be enough, but obviously it is still triggering an error. Because of this, it means I need to use the try catch method anyway. There you go. Okay, sorry, this one's taking a little bit of time, but just setting the framework to be a little bit better. Okay, so admin123 and login. That is weird. Wait a minute. Oh, null. Oh, wait. Login should have this one. Login should have a try catch. Okay. So here it went to the users table. Okay, where's the users table? Wait a minute. This error should be caught by this catch. That is very weird. Okay, so let's have a look. Listen. Yeah. Okay. So by the way, let me see, the log file failed to connect. So we cached the error at first. Okay. So let's go back here, admin123 and login. And okay, we got to the breakpoint. So here, this is null. Now this is gonna trigger an error. So F10. It seems that returning null value actually causes an issue. Okay, calling something on null is causing an issue. So it seems that null is an exception, that a try catch cannot catch a call to a null value. Okay, no biggie. So in that case, we need to avoid null as well. So simply, instead of this, I just say if db equals null, error could not connect, so redirect to login page again. There you go. So now if a problem happens when opening a connection to the database, we will just go back to the login page. Okay, so now let's go again. I thought the try catch could capture the null variable issue, but apparently it does not. Okay, so now even if the database is not working, we can still, the site doesn't look as broken as before. So we start the database again, and now we just say admin 123 and login, and now it's working fine. Okay, yeah, so well, since we have updated this one as well, so in our progress we will just write also added logging to the DBA and users class. Okay, this will help us later on. So let us just commit and then stop. So I just add this one, commit the changes, and that's it. So thank you for watching this video today. I hope you find it useful in terms of connecting and reading values from the database directly and performing an actual login, and also in terms of capturing and logging errors. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Bye bye.